All right. Well, ladies, I am so happy that each of you could join us. Melinda and I have been friends now for a few
Where
years,
are you?
and we were just talking like last night or the other day. It was like,
Where?
this piece of the story is such a huge part of our stories, like just the whole mom life portion, pregnancy, postpartum, breastfeeding, like all of the things. It's just this huge piece of our healing journey. It's almost like it took that to get us started. So anyway, my story starts actually, well, more than 3 years ago, but I came across these plant-based supplements 3 years ago. And the reason I finally tried them was because I was finally postpartum so desperate, I had to try something. So my entire life I've had allergies, painful bloating, my weight's fluctuated back and forth. I've been constipated since I was an infant, and just been kind of told that that's your normal. There's nothing, that's just how you are. It's just normal. No matter the allergists I went to, the naturopathic doctors I went to, they could get me to a certain point and no further. And I remember wanting to be a missionary as a kid. This really sticks out in my brain. I wanted to be a missionary because I really wanted to go to Romania and rescue all the babies from the orphanages. And my mom just told me, she goes, girl, you're going to have to find a different dream. You would not survive in not first world country. You would die. You have to have meds. So that was, yeah, so there was that. And so then fast forward, I was never obese, but I just was kind of always a little bit chubby, a little bit inflamed, and just kind of felt gross in my own skin. Then I had a baby, and postpartum, y'all, is for reals. The blues hit me hard. I don't say it's full-blown depression because I wasn't fantasizing about hurting my baby necessarily, but it was pretty bad. I remember sitting in my bed and crying to my husband that I didn't recognize myself anymore, because I'd gone from this, I love people, want to be where all the people are all the time, to a recluse. I was hiding from people, avoiding phone calls, avoiding church, avoiding everything because it was too hard to continue to pretend to be okay. I had not had anxiety before this, but it was sky high. My hormones were all over the place. And then to top it all off, my baby was screamed for hours at a time. She had eczema from head to toe, and she was losing weight. Like, I found a Facebook memory the other day of her 1 month appointment. She had gained less than a pound in a month. And so it was just so stressful. I remember everything about that. It was just so stressful. So a friend finally reached out to me and she goes, girl, I'm taking these probiotics. Probiotics are good for moms. She had no idea I was struggling. You need to come and listen to like some testimonies of some other mamas. I honestly just had nothing else to do. I was nursing a baby. So I was like, yeah, okay, I'll pop on. And on that little online event, listening to a whole bunch of different stories, for the first time for me, I heard hope. I heard that although it is common to have constipation, PMS, no energy, sugar cravings, like all of these things, allergies, it's actually not normal. That's not how God made us. That's not how we're supposed to function. But, things have happened in our bodies and it's common but not normal. But there are things that we can do. And if our body has the right tools, a lot of it can rebuild and balance and heal from. So it was incredible for me. Like, I remember just crying because I cried a lot back then after that. And I was just like, I've got to try this. And then I was floored at how like affordable it was, because I tried some other things before and I was like, there's no way we're going to fly that on a single income. So I was floored by that. But even with it being so affordable, we couldn't afford it because we just gone to a single income. I wasn't working anymore. But I had gotten to that desperate point. So I don't recommend this, but I actually hid in the bathroom and put my first order on a charge card because we could not actually afford it. But I was like, I had to try something. And then it worked. It was incredible. Within the first few days, I remember my friend who recommended I start, she warned me, she goes, you can have a little detox when you first start. So don't be surprised if you get a little bloated or have a headache or something. I'm rocking. I hope I'm not making you all seasick, but there's a baby. She's just like, don't be surprised. So I got really bad headaches my first couple days, and I about did a happy dance because I was like, this is the first time something started working for me. I was so excited. Then those went away, and I just started to see the more fun things happen after that. Like I quit craving coffee. I quit craving an entire package of Oreos in one sitting. I had energy. Then my milk supply changed. My baby started gaining weight. Her eczema went away. She started sleeping better. Like it just completely transformed our lives. I felt like it kind of saved our life because I was about to go nuts. My allergies went away. I wasn't expecting that. I lost all of my baby weight and then some, but it wasn't really, I mean, every mama postpartum wants to lose baby weight, but what it was for me was it was balancing. Like just all of a sudden my clothes didn't fit anymore. It's like all the fat melted. It was fabulous. And then I never gained it back. 3 years, had another pregnancy, took my supplements all through my second pregnancy. Are you okay down there? Nope, you're drowning? Okay. My second pregnancy was lovely. I had no heartburn, no inflammation. I had no restless leg or leg cramps. Labor and delivery was lovely. Recovery was fantastic. And this one is gaining weight like a champ. She doesn't even have cradle cap, which, funny thing, that's actually a gut problem. Did you know that? I didn't know. And so it's been fabulous. Yeah, I guess that's my story.
It's a fantastic story.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So do you want me to go ahead then?
Yeah, go for it.
Any questions for her specifically, just about anything she talked about while it's fresh in your minds? Look at us both rocking here. This is ridiculous. I'm sorry. Are you motion sick? Do you need some Dramamine? I'll try to stand still. I did a live video one time on Facebook, and I was in the rocking chair, and there were like 16 people on there that said, "Can you please stop rocking? I'm gonna puke." Sorry. Anyway, okay. Well, I am Melinda Nenekoven, for those of you that don't know me. Yeah, so Stephanie and I have known each other for a while, and when we found out we were pregnant, the babies came like 3 weeks apart, something like that. So it was just really fun for us to kind of go through that process together. Especially we call it a plexus pregnancy, which sounds kind of silly, but it's such a different experience. And I have 3 pregnancies without, and so yeah, that's a huge part of my story, because I know that my body got in the shape that it was in because of my deliveries, and so I'm going to try to keep this as short as possible because I know you don't want to listen to me ramble, but I am super passionate about sharing my story because I feel like there are so many people that probably have a similar story and they just don't even realize it. So I when I first started, just to be completely honest, I told the gal that introduced me to the products that I think supplements are expensive poop, and I'm not going to pay for something that's going to go down the toilet. And God created us to eat good foods, exercise, and drink water, and take care of our bodies. And I told her, if I do those things, then I should be able to feel good. And what I realized, though, is that the nutrients that we need are not in our food anymore, and we do things to our bodies a lot of times out of necessity. Like if we take an antibiotic because we have strep throat, I don't know if you've ever tried to beat strep throat without an antibiotic, but I have, and it really doesn't work very well. So there are definitely times when we need antibiotics to save our lives, truly. And I know strep throat, it can be very dangerous if you don't take care of it, but other things, like mastitis, which I'm going to talk about. But I just told her that. And so I really, it took a lot for me to even consider taking the products. And what I mean by that is I was just at a rock bottom with my health. I was always a super energetic, bubbly person. And I got to the point right before I started where my anxiety was at an all-time high. Again, I never had dealt with anxiety really before that. I was just super anxious. I was exhausted all the time. I was drinking a ridiculous amount of coffee and just so tired anyway, because that cycle's terrible. I was eating all kinds of sugar, which wasn't normal for me because, again, I was a type of person that I was conscious about what I put in my body. I just wanted real food, right? And I exercised. And so I feel like I was kind of a person that was doing most things right, except that my gut got in a state where my body was craving sugar and it was craving junk. And if you didn't know, sugar cravings are a physical craving. It is not in your head. It doesn't matter how much willpower you have. If you have a yeast overgrowth in your gut, which is a gut imbalance, that's what we're talking about, you're going to crave sugar, because what does yeast like? What do we put in yeast when we bake bread? We put sugar in it. And so I've had so many people come to me and just be so grateful to be broken free from just that alone, not having those sugar cravings where you eat a piece of cake and you want like 5 more pieces of cake, but you don't do that because you're embarrassed, but really then you go home and you eat more cookies or whatever it is, right? So that's a physical craving. And so it hurts my heart when I hear people say, you know, I just don't have enough willpower. And I'm like, you could have all the willpower in the world. You're not going to be able to do it, because it's physically your body's craving that food. So, okay, my story. See, I haven't even really started it yet. So I think that my body got into the shape that it was because with Jameis, I tested positive for strep B. That's just a bacteria that comes and goes. It's either there or it's not. And if you deliver in a hospital, they are very, very, very adamant that you take those IV antibiotics before the baby comes, because the baby can get sick, right? And so with Jameis, I took the IV antibiotics and he was born, and I think I was home, maybe it was between a week and 2 weeks, and I got thrush. He got thrush, which is caused by yeast. And then I got mastitis. And so then I was on oral antibiotics, and it was awful. It was the kind of mastitis. I had mastitis with Kai when he was born, but it wasn't as severe. So when it hit with Jameis, I was at church at 10 a.m. and by noon I was in the shower like bawling, which is not me. My husband was ready to take me to the ER. I had like 103 fever. It was so bad. And the antibiotics, right? They don't care what bacteria is in your body, what bacteria is in your gut. You have good bacteria. It needs to be 80% 20 good, or 80% good bacteria, 20% bad. There's a balance there. And a lot of times it ends up flip-flop. So those IV antibiotics totally wiped my immune system out. And then I got mastitis. I got it probably at least 2 more times after that with Jameis, and was on oral antibiotics. So within a very short amount of time, just totally wrecked my gut, right? Of course, my doctor didn't say, hey, you might want to get on a probiotic. I knew that I probably should. And I think I went and got one at Walmart or something like that, which let's just not talk about that. It did nothing for me. And so then I got pregnant with Doris when Jameis was 14 months old. And so then she was born. Jameis was 22 months or so. And again, I tested positive for strep B. And I took the IV antibiotics again. I literally went home from the hospital with mastitis. And I thought I was going to have to go back to the hospital and get checked in. And I was freaking out because I'm like, I'm not leaving my baby. And they're going to check me in because I have a fever and I was just delivering, you know, because it could be whatever. And so luckily my doctor did write me a prescription for antibiotics. But then I got it a couple more times with her too. All kinds of trouble with clogged milk ducts. And I would start running fever. And it was just really bad. So I think that was the root of why my body was in the shape that it was in, because of all that antibiotic use. And there's other things that can affect it too, you know, different medications, stress in your life, obviously the foods that we put in our body. But for me, that was kind of the tipping point. And so right after Doris was born, I met Megan Goff at a wedding actually. And she is the person that introduced me to them. She's the sweetest lady. She has an incredible story. Her house had mold in it, if you're interested in that story. She was so sick. But I met her there and we just chatted a little bit, and I decided to give it a try because my husband actually, I think I talked to her the first time because I was interested in helping Chandler stop farting and burping. If anybody's husbands have that problem, like all the time, I was so tired of it. I'm like, you're miserable, because he was burping all the time. And he had heartburn too. And so anyway, chatted with her and I started the products. I was on them for maybe a month, 6 weeks or so, I'd have to look back, and I quit taking them. And I quit taking them because, of course, I was a mama and I was at home on maternity leave, not getting paid a dime. And I felt guilty for taking care of myself. And I will say too, like what Stephanie was talking about, you know, there's lots of folks that go to like health food stores and they try to get the same ingredients that are in our products. And I tell people all the time, like, it doesn't matter where you get what you need. You need to get these specific things to heal your gut. And if you try to do that elsewhere because of the combination of what we have, it's super expensive, right? And so anyway, I quit taking them for 7 months, and I was right back in the place that I was when I started, because it is a healing process. Like, you have to consistently take them and you have to allow your body to heal. It's not like an overnight fix. And so I started taking them again 7 months later, and I have not missed a day, because I knew how important it was to give my body a chance to heal. And I hadn't done that. I was feeling good. I had more energy. I wasn't drinking crazy amounts of caffeine every day and all of that, but I hadn't let my body heal. So just a few other things about my story. I'm really rambling. I'm sorry, but I have to tell you this. Inflammation is crazy. And I didn't realize how inflamed my body was until it wasn't anymore. And I don't know, I may have shared a picture with you, Danielle, but I have a picture of when I started and last summer, and there's literally maybe a 5-pound difference in what I weigh. And my face looks so puffy in that other picture. I mean, I look like I probably weigh 30 or 40 more pounds. I'm not joking. And inflammation is just huge in people, and we don't realize it. And then the last thing I want to talk about is blood sugar. So my whole life, I have always dealt with having wonky blood sugar. And what I mean by that is that if I don't eat regularly, my blood sugar bottoms out, and then I feel nauseous and sick and grouchy and hangry. And my sisters are the same way, and both of my mom and dad are. So if we didn't eat supper on time, it was not a fun place in our house. But we just struggle with that. And so pink drink has been incredible for me, just to not get the highs and lows. And that's where your exhaustion comes from, right? You eat, your blood sugar spikes, and then it bottoms out, and then you feel super tired, right? And with nursing babies, that has been a huge, huge help, because when your blood sugar is wonky when you're not nursing a baby, it's wonky times 14 when you are. And because of the calorie intake that you have to have, and just producing that milk. And so that has been so nice to not be, like having to constantly shove my face full of food to try to keep from going high and low and high and low. So I think I've talked long enough now. There's a lot more to my story, and I was dealing with a lot more symptoms than what I shared. But I think my biggest point is that I got in the position that I was because of the IV antibiotic use, or antibiotic use in general. Most of us have been on antibiotics, and it takes an entire year for your body to recoup from that. And that's if you do everything right and you're not on antibiotics again. So anyway, okay, I'm gonna stop rambling now, Stephanie. Unless you guys have questions.
I love your story.
I'm really good with wait time because I'm a teacher. Well, yeah. I was a teacher. I quit my job to stay home with my babies.
Not often.
I haven't shared that with the world yet, though. So you guys know. Yay!
I was so happy for you when you finally made that decision.
Yeah, I'm pretty pumped about it.
When we talked last year, I was like, just do it. That's awesome.
Sorry. Okay. I love kids at school. So.
Yeah, no, school's awesome. So what well, I was like, well, let's talk about like what the heck it even is. Because I remember, like Melinda was saying, before I stumbled into this, I didn't really I wasn't a nutritionist or anything. So I just thought, I needed vitamins, but I didn't know what to take or how to take it or which was important or like what makes a good one or not. And so I was very blessed that my friend helped me get started with this before I had to make the expensive mistakes of like going through all of the things and figure out what didn't work. So I thought we'd probably just talk about like the things that actually changed everything for us and what, how to get them and all that. So the most popular combination, Melinda, did you start on the triplex too? Is that you started on?
Yeah. Yep. That's the combo that I ordered. first. And I will say that 99% of the time, that is what I suggest to people. Because usually what's causing their issues, it's the root of your health. And so you can have, I always think of it as like an upside down triangle, where the bottom is your root, right? Or a tree, I don't know. I'm a very visual person, so I have to I should draw it now. So it's kind of like this. Anyway, if the root isn't healthy, all of these other things are jacked too, right? And so that's why when people heal their gut, they have so many of those things go away, and they're just like, this is crazy. I was treating my blood pressure with this medication and my cholesterol with this medication, and I was diabetic and I had to have this. Now, obviously, there's two different types of diabetes, but if you have type 2 diabetes, it can help a ton. There's just so many things because it's all connected to that, and that's why if you fix it, then it fixes all that other stuff. So I did start with triplex. Stephanie, you started triplex too, right?
I did. And the reason it worked so well, so it's super simple. I wanted to show it to you guys so you could see what we're talking about. It's not uber complicated. It's these 3 things. You've got a probiotic, BioCleanse, which is an oxygenated magnesium, and then the pink drink, which is the Slim. No, you're supposed to be in your room.
You can't read it.
Not right now.
You can't read it.
Okay, well, maybe we should play the triplex video to explain it for us. But how easy this is, I just wanted to show you. That's the other thing, is that it had to be simple for a mom to be able to make it work, right? So I dumped the powder in water and drink it in the morning. You can honestly drink it anytime because there's no caffeine in it or anything. So I've drunk it after dinner because I didn't want dessert. So you can drink it anytime, but for all intents and purposes, you drink this in the morning, you take these before bed. And that is the end of the story, if this is what you're taking. So it makes it super easy and simple.
Hi.
Yeah, and I do my Slim. I actually just had it. I have it in the afternoon because that's the time. I like to have it after lunch. I'm good in the morning. I feel, I'm up, I'm good, I'm going. And my kind of sleepy time and when I need the most energy is after lunch until, I get to bed, whenever that might be. And it also helps with sleep. That's a huge surprise to a lot of people because they're like, well, isn't it going to give me energy? Well, it's not from caffeine, it's from blood sugar balance. And so when your blood sugar is balanced, you're not waking up all the time in the night, because a lot of times when you're waking up, it's because your blood sugar is going like this, right? And so a lot of people experience better sleep through it. So it really doesn't matter what time of day you take it, it's what works best for you. And sometimes I'll do 2 in a day, depending on, maybe I'll do one if I eat a pretty good breakfast, then I'll have one early if I've had a rough night before, and then I'll do one later on. And it just kind of, yeah. So anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Stephanie.
No, it's fine. I was going to say, instead of us trying to explain it, there's a 2-minute triplex video. Can you share that?
Yeah, some of you might have seen it already, but it's a great one. So let me see. Can you guys see that?
Oh.
Is it showing now? You bet. Okay, hopefully it will play through the... Can you hear it?
Can't hear it.
That's so weird. Okay, well, I paused it. Oh, maybe because I have mute on.
You know that feeling when something in your body is just off? Gas, bloating, immune challenges, mood swings, indigestion, weight gain. Your gut plays a big role in your overall health. In fact, 70% of the cells needed for a healthy immune system and 90% of your mood-enhancing serotonin originate in your gut. Gut flora also impacts your digestive health, your metabolism, and even your weight. Food, lifestyle choices, and the environment can harm your gut. But there is something that can help. Introducing Plexus Triplex. It's the supercharged boost your gut needs to improve your health from the inside out. Triplex works in 3 ways. It removes harmful microbes and substances, supporting your body's natural detoxification processes. It restores a healthy balance to your intestinal tract and replenishes with 2 billion beneficial microorganisms in every capsule. And it rebalances, helping your microbiome thrive while helping support healthy glucose metabolism. Triplex's breakthrough system is the key to a healthy gut and a happier life without all the gas, bloating, indigestion, and mood swings. Sounds great, right? And by the way, Triplex has also been clinically shown to promote weight loss. You won't just feel better, you'll have something to show for it. With scientifically supported ingredients and innumerable benefits, it's the smartest choice you can make for your gut, your health, and your life. Plexus Triplex. A better life begins in the gut.
Okay. I love that video because I feel like it really does just kind of get to the point of this is what it does. And this is how it works, and this is why you need to do that. A couple things I was thinking about watching it were cleanse. So it's not like sometimes when people think of cleanse, they think that they're gonna like have this crazy, I'm gonna cleanse my body, and that means everything's gonna come out. That's not how it works. However, you should be going to the bathroom every day. We talk to people about poop every day. Okay, I'm just gonna be honest. If you're not going to the bathroom every day, there's a problem. And some people think that it's normal to go only once or twice a week. And it is so unhealthy to do that. And you're so uncomfortable, right? Like it does not feel good when you haven't went to the bathroom for a few days. So I can't imagine a week would be really.
That was my story. Did you know you can carry 20 pounds of waste around in your intestines? Did you know you could, it's physically possible. It's miserable, let me tell you.
But it is mild. It's not like, it does not have a laxative effect. You're not going to start, that's not how it works. And most people are actually deficient in magnesium. And your body, I think it's over 300 cellular processes need magnesium. And so if you don't get enough, you're just not, you're running on fumes. So it's magnesium. Yep. Super important you have it. I was thinking of as we were watching that. Oh, weight loss. So many people come to us and they're like, well, why are you taking that stuff? Because you don't need to lose weight. I'm like, well, I'm comfortable at a certain weight and I need to be at that weight, or I just don't feel comfortable in my own skin and my clothes don't fit. But regardless of that, it's not just a weight loss product. Like I took Triplex, I took Ease, I took X Factor, the multivitamin, I took Mega X, all through my pregnancy. And people are like, why are you still taking that pink drink? Because blood sugar balance is so important for people, it's not about weight loss, but weight loss can be a really nice side effect when you balance your gut, because your body doesn't hang on to that fat anymore as a toxin. And so a lot of people, they give it time to heal their body, and then that weight just starts coming off.
Well, then it doesn't come back. That's the other thing. Right. Like, this isn't something that like a crash diet where then it comes back. That's what I loved. Is like it wasn't like I was on a diet. It was very easy to maintain. I was just living life, taking my supplements, and the fat just kind of melted away after I balanced. Like, yes. Your body's too smart to deal with weight if you have something else going on that's a much bigger issue. So like people who have autoimmune diseases, for example, do a lot of healing from that before they end up seeing like their weight turn around. But yes, that's a thing. Those are the three things she was talking about. X Factor is a multivitamin, which I thought like woohoo multivitamin, but does anybody know what the what bioavailable means? Does that sound familiar?
I did not know. I had no idea.
I didn't either. So this is why you can go to any store, Rite Aid, GMC, whatever, and pick up any vitamin, and people tell me, I don't feel any different on a vitamin. I take it because I know it's good for me. You literally will feel different on X Factor. I do, because it's in a bioavailable format, which means you can get vitamins from a lot of places, but a lot of them are not in a format your body can actually absorb, which then, like Melinda says, you have expensive poop and pee because you literally just pee it right out. So that's why, the other reason why this works so well, all of the things, is because when it's bioavailable, you absorb it, your body actually uses it, you actually feel better. So that's one of the reasons it's so important. And then right now too, with the whole everybody wanting to boost immune systems and defend from viruses. It's got vitamin A, vitamin C, like all the virus killing stuff in it. So it's been really great. Omega X, a lot of people know fish oil. When I talk about omegas, people say fish oil because they feel like it's an interchangeable term, but it's actually not. You don't only get omegas from fish oil. A lot of people know fish oil or omegas are good for you, but this is totally plant-based. So it's not just omega-3, lack of fish oil. It's omega-3, 6, 9, 5, and 7. So it's all of the good omegas. And there's no fishy burps afterwards because it's all plants. So if you're pregnant or nursing, these are the best multivitamin ever. Like putting the X factor with the omegas, because that's where you get your, what is it, the DH, whatever that is that they really want in your multivitamins.
DHA.
And then E is the,
oh, sorry, folic acid versus folate. I didn't know that there was a difference. And so I was literally, my multivitamin, my prenatal was a gummy from Walmart. I know, but I just didn't know. And folate is the bioavailable form. And so when we're trying to absorb enough folate for our babies, you don't want it in the form of folic acid because you're not going to absorb it as well. And so I had no idea. And I'm just like, that's such an easy thing for a doctor to say, hey, make sure you get a multivitamin with folate in it. Here, let me write you a prescription for it. It's so easy, but they just didn't. So
I don't think they know. I don't think they necessarily know. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, since we were just targeting mama stuff, I wanted to talk about just the things that had like changed my mama life. I love Active. I don't know about you, but so Active was developed to be a healthy alternative to an energy drink. It only has 100 milligrams of caffeine in it, which is like less than most pregnant and nursing moms drink during the day. And so it does have caffeine in it though, but it's all plant-derived extracts. We're talking like broccoli, kale, tart cherry extracts, and it's so wonderful. I have great energy, no jitters. I don't need my coffee. Sometimes I drink some just because I want the flavor in my mouth, but I never finish it. And because I don't need it anymore. And I feel like I have great focus when I drink it. So I loved Active. I took it on and off throughout my entire pregnancy. And then I wanted to talk about collagen. So, okay, we're all pretty young on here, I think. So it's like when I heard about collagen or that the company was doing a collagen, I was like, okay, woohoo, I'm 30. You know, it's like, I don't need collagen because I thought it was a beauty product. But did you know that collagen is the second most plentiful substance in your body? So it's water's number 1, collagen's number 2, and it's literally the building blocks or scaffolding for your cells, your soft tissue. So my story with collagen was I was in some pain near the end of my pregnancy with this one because she was sitting just perfectly and knocking my pelvis out of joint. So that was actually a soft tissue issue. My ligaments were not strong enough. So I started taking the collagen and it helped like my pelvic floor, the ligaments in my hips and in my pelvis. And so it got me out of pain. And then as a fun side note, my cellulite's gone, y'all. Like, that's pretty bomb.
She should make a post about that. It's on her butt.
I'm not taking a picture of my butt and putting it on social media.
There's a lot of people that have had that. So
yeah. I have a picture of another friend who did take a picture of her cellulite on her thighs that went away. So, you know, I can show you that, but I'm not taking a picture of my butt. Sorry. Not happening.
You want me to talk about Joyum a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay, so Joyum, your skin also has a microbiome. Who knew? But your skin is the biggest organ in your body, actually. And I love Joyum just as a mom, for sure. I love it, but I've always been kind of like a simple person in that I can't do a 5-step face care program because it's just not going to happen. But as a mom, even more so, right? So I literally wash my face with like, I don't know, you can use whatever cleanser you use. I use like baby wash. And then there's a day serum and there's a night serum. So you put it on in the morning and you put it on at night before bed. And I put this one like next to my bed so that if I forget, well, I was forgetting. So then I needed to figure out a way to not forget. So I put it next to my bed and then it's there and I don't forget then before I go to sleep. But it's so easy and the ingredients are super clean. There's all kinds of ingredients that are like outlawed, should I say banned? Banned is a better word. Outlaw makes me feel like a cowboy. They're banned in other countries and they're not here. And Joyome follows those regulations. And so they're clean ingredients. They're wonderful. And the results kind of speak for themselves. I don't really ever wear makeup except mascara. I made a post yesterday about Joyome and my sister, I said, I love my naked face. And my sister's like, you're lying. It's not naked. You got mascara on. I was like, shut up, Melanie. She just has to, that's just what she is. She's like, I'm joking. I knew what you were saying. She loves Joyome too. So she didn't risk foundation either. And I have a lot of sun damage. I've had a lot of sun damage because I played softball in the summer and I never put sunscreen on because why would I do that as a teenager?
Right.
And so it has really helped my face even out and get rid of sunspots, and I have freckles. And so my skin's just, what's the word, prone to sun damage because of the skin type that I have. But I very rarely wear foundation, and mascara is pretty much my go-to. And I really actually prefer my face without. When I do put makeup on, like if there's a special event or a wedding or something, I'm just like, I don't even feel comfortable in it because it doesn't look like me and I don't like the way my skin looks. So I do love Joyome, and I think it's really important to take care of your face, especially the ages that we are, because I'm finding that like it never was on my mind until now because I'm starting to notice, like things. And so I don't know, when you start to see your age face a little bit or your face age a little bit, then you start using something. Probably should have done it 10 years ago, but anyway, I do love Joyome. And there's trials done on it too, and people do use it on things other than their face.
Their tummies. So I'd always heard that once you have stretch marks, that's it. It's not necessarily true. So many of my friends, and I did bring pictures so I could screen share, or we could just send them to you afterwards. So many of my friends have done before and afters that when they take the collagen and the Joyome, their stretch marks and saggy tummies are not so much a thing anymore. It's been really exciting because, you start to feel this, I don't know, I was feeling this a little bit like, I love my kid more than anything, but at the same time, there's this itty bitty, teeny tiny bit of resentment in the back of your head, like you've sacrificed your body forever for this tiny human and you will never look good again. And it's not like I wanted to be Victoria's Secret. I just wanted to feel good in my skin again. So it was very exciting to me to have, that's not true.
Yeah, it's super cool. And I think, I think for people to have an option for that, because there's so many people that are just like, well, that's the way that my stomach's going to look forever. Or I actually have stretch marks on my hips. And I got more this time because this baby was 9 pounds, 6 ounces. And all of my others my biggest baby was 7 pounds, 4 ounces. So let me just say, the only thing that changed was I was healthy, guys. And people are like, oh, it was your 4th baby. You had a big baby. I'm like, no.
Not like 2 pounds.
I had 3, 6'12", 7'4" was Jameis, 7 pounds was Doris, and he was 9'6". So, and I have a friend on my team actually who had 3 pregnancies, tiny small babies on bed rest, super high risk pregnancies. Her 4th baby, she had been on triplex for a year. Man, I bawled the day I talked to her. I'm telling you what, it makes me a little bit teary eyed now. Her 4th baby was over 8 pounds. She kept telling everybody, I'm going to have an 8-pound baby. I just feel so good. And it wasn't high risk. She made it clear full term. And she had an over 8-pound baby, and just amazing. And of course people are just skeptical. And I'm like, you can be skeptical, but I just had a 9 pound, 6 ounce baby and the best pregnancy by far. Truly, and the best recovery by far. Like people kept calling me and saying, why aren't you resting? Why aren't you napping? And I'm like, well, because I don't feel like I need to. Well, is he sleeping really good? I'm like, well, yeah, but he eats every 2 hours. I mean, I'm still up, guys. Like I'm still up every 2 hours feeding him. But I just feel good, and I'm so grateful for that. But it's crazy what can happen when your body is healthy and running the way that it's supposed to. So anyway, I had to share that about the ginormous kid. And he is huge. I don't know what he weighs right now because I don't have a scale. I ordered one the other day. But he is gaining a lot. And I know that my milk is I don't know that I'm making more. I feel like I am making more because he's so big. But what I notice the most is that if he has a day where he eats a lot, my milk doesn't tank.
Mm-hmm.
Like it recovers a lot quicker,
Mm-hmm.
I guess, if that makes sense. And my blood sugar too has been great. So that's been really nice because I know with the other babies, I would get so nervous that I wasn't making enough because I would feel so empty when they would have a growth spurt day, you know, when they're eating all the time. So anyway, we can respect your time. I'm sorry. We keep, go ahead, Stephanie.
No, I know. With my first one, it wasn't quantity. Like I made a ton, but it was not good. Like when we finally went to a lactation specialist because she was not gaining weight, they were saying that it was I was basically stuffing her full of skim milk and there wasn't any fat or nutrition in it. And so I had to like pump a whole bunch off the top before I could even breastfeed her to kind of hopefully get through it to some of the richer stuff. And this time it's just not been a problem. It's my body adapts to her perfectly. It's been awesome. I don't feel like it's more. I feel like it's just really rich and she gets full pretty quickly, which is awesome. Okay. So did you have anything else you wanted to tack on?
I don't think so. I should stop rambling so that we can respect your time.
I know it's like we went a little over our 30-minute goal here, but so as like a next step, if you guys want to start doing what we did and getting healthy, it's pretty easy, especially right now in April. I'm loving this. They have a fabulous sale on right now, so that membership is actually, it's discounted. Normally a membership is like $40, and that would be kind of like, think a Costco membership. All right, but this month in April, it's only $9.94, not $9.95, $9.94. And so for example, if you get a membership, then that's the best way to get like your triplex. So if you're looking for getting healthy from the inside out and actually working on those root things, you'd want something like this, which is going to be dealing with getting your gut healthy, balancing your blood sugar. You know what? We didn't ask. I was going to ask for questions. We just kept talking.
We're terrible. We're ramblers. You know why though? It's because we're pumped and passionate, and we've seen like literally thousands and thousands of people get their lives back. I mean, truly, like if it were anything else, I could never do this. I could never share.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be life-changing for people.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody needs lipstick except me. I look like a clown in lipstick, but I could never share about lipstick because lipstick is not life-changing in my opinion. So that's the reason for my ramble. Yeah, what questions do you have? You guys don't have to talk if you don't want to. I get it. I used to be Zoom shy too, but you can put them in the comments, or you can talk.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, please interrupt me. But yeah, if you need balance, you want to start with this at least. That's awesome. Congratulations. And right now what they have starter packs. And they're also on sale. And so for example, if you were to get a triplex, it's on sale for like $89 right now, which is a steal. It's even cheaper than I got it when I started. Then if you're a mom who needs like the whole, you want to get your stretch marks gone, you want to deal with cellulite, there's also a combo that has just the collagen and the Joyome that Melinda has. So it's this with Melinda's Joyome, and it's got a 7-day sample of the pink drink to mix your collagen in, which is fantastic. Or if there's something completely different that you were looking at. The other thing I didn't say, but is awesome, is the kids multivitamin / probiotic has been awesome for us, because as long as I keep her on it, her eczema doesn't come back. And she poops regularly. Because remember, this is my 3-year-old over here, is the one that had all the difficulty when she was first born. So this has been awesome for us. And again, it's bioavailable, so they actually absorb it all. It's fabulous. I'm gonna have to mute myself.
I can talk.
Okay.
So yeah, there are several welcome packs that you can do. That's what they call them, just the combo of products that's discounted. And it really just depends on your goals. So I think you know, we can chat with you all after the call if you want, or whenever, and kind of get some of your health goals. I know some of you on this call, we've already done that, and it's been awesome. And your products are on the way, yay! But it's always good to just learn more about the products. I still learn stuff every day, and it's just I love to do that because I have found that you know, once you feel good and that's your new normal, you kind of forget how bad you felt. And I just like to continue to educate myself and remember that, because that's where people are, right? And there's just some really incredible stories out there, testimonies of people. And if you want more information like that, let us know. If you want more information like science-based, I was a science teacher before I taught at the Christian school. I was a special ed teacher there, so I was still teaching science, but I was a science teacher when I first got started, and I researched like every ingredient, seriously, because I wanted to know what I was putting in my body, and I for sure wanted to know what I was going to be putting in my family's body if I got to the point where I wanted to give them the products, and I do. My kids take, well, I'm not going to talk about it, but they take a lot of them. I want our immune systems as strong as possible. And so I researched like every ingredient. So if you're the kind of person that wants to know those facts and that information, let us know and we can get you connected with that too. So yeah, I think with that, if anybody has any questions right now, let us know. But we'll be talking to you soon too. Stephanie, was there anything else you wanted to say?
Well, since I'm visual, it was helpful for me to know this, but like I was saying, the starter packs like these, there's those, but there's also bigger ones, which are even deeper discounted that have a little bit of everything in them. So for example, if you wanted, the root healing of a triplex, but you were also wanting to like address healthy weight loss, or you were interested in the joyome, there's packs that have that combination to them. So I wanted to make sure you knew that. And then something that I feel like is just too good to not talk about is that the company is so generous right now. They are passionate about taking care of their people. And so they have earmarked $6 million that they are trying to get back into the hands of just members of the company. And they actually stated their goal was to get at least $600 into the hands of 10,000 families before the end of April. Because, and I almost teared up when I heard this part, he goes, because in 2008, during the crash, $500 would have made the difference between people having to foreclose. And I was like, that's so true. So I just love, they've bent over backwards to make this doable for us. So how that translates to something that's important for you is when you start your health journey in April, if you have 3 friends start it with you, whatever their goals are, they will write you a check between $300 and $500, depending on how many people you help get started. And it just goes up from there, depending on if you have more friends who want to do it. Now, right now, you have to wait just a minute. And what we've been doing, I've been helping friends take advantage of that, because they don't just need to get healthy. Some of them need to pay their bills this month. So it's been really fun to help people do that. And I've just been doing like little Zooms like this. They're usually a little bit shorter because it's just me and them. You don't have 2 ramblers on there. And we just do these for their friends and kind of tell our stories, tell how this is like helping us. And people are looking for answers to natural immunity and being healthy and how to pay their bills. So this has just been answering a lot of prayers for people. And it's like Melinda was saying, there's nothing quite like the feeling of having somebody call you in tears because in some way it changed their life. Whether it was the paycheck that they got meant that they didn't have to stress when they went grocery shopping, that they could just get what they wanted, or they finally feel like themselves being a mom again because they felt lost before, which was my story. I just felt lost. I wasn't me anymore. So there you go. I wanted to throw that out there because, man, I'd be so mad if nobody ever told me that. And because I was needing to pay bills back when I started.
I was telling Danielle that earlier, that I had a gal one time, I didn't tell her about the specials that were going on that month.
Mhm.
And there's definitely a difference between running a business like what Stephanie and I do and helping some friends get healthy
Mhm.
and having accountability partners with you. You're not running a business when you do that. You're just helping them get started and do it together. But there was a time where I didn't tell this gal, and she found out about it later, how much money she could have made that month. And it was like, I think it was above $400
Mhm.
that month with the specials, and she was upset. Like, I really needed that money. I can tell you that when I first started, my sponsor asked me about sharing, and I told my husband there is no way in hell I'm ever going to do that. Can you believe she asked me that? I was serious. That's exactly what I said. But then I got my life back,
Mhm.
and I got my health back, and I was just like, I can't not tell people about this, because you look around you, anywhere you go, you look around you and you see people that are super sick. Like, you can just see it in them, and they are just surviving. They are not thriving every day. You know how hard it is to pull yourself up and go exercise when you are so exhausted? Like, you can't just make that choice, you know? And the mental health part of it too is huge for me, because I work with teenagers every day that are struggling so bad mentally. I mean, so bad, suicidal, the whole gamut. And they, you know what their diets are? Total crap. And they've been on antibiotics 14,000 times. And I know that because they tell me when they're sick, they get on an antibiotic. And I know they're wreck. One statistic, and this is the last thing I'm going to say. The statistic that stays in my mind over everything that I have learned through this is a statistic about serotonin. And serotonin is your happy hormone. And up to 90% is made in your gut. I had no idea serotonin was made in your gut. I thought it was like all in your brain, right? Where hormones are made. Well, apparently not. And it's in your gut. So how are you going to be happy? How are you going to be choosing joy? How are you going to be, you know, the mom that your kids need you to be if your serotonin production is not where it's supposed to be? Like, physically, it's not working the way it's supposed to be. So I always think about that, because that's huge. Like, you can't just choose to be happy if you're not making enough serotonin. It's just not, it's physically, chemically, it's not possible. So
Guilt used to be so real. The guilt was so real because, you know, you love Jesus. I'm like, I'm happy in Jesus. What's wrong with me?
Yeah,
But no, it's a chemical thing too. Okay.
for sure.
All right, dearies. Thank you so much for hopping on with us. I'm sorry we rambled a little bit long, but it's been so nice to see so many faces. Yes.
Yeah.
Even my 3-year-old is like so happy to see people.
I know, right? Yeah. Well, we will let you guys go, but please let us know if you have any questions. Send us a message on Facebook or text us or whatever, and we can answer those for you and get you more information or help you get started if you're ready. So,
Absolutely.
all right. Any last questions?
Mommy.
Yeah, my 3-year-old was just pointing to the screen.
And I'm having a hard time hearing you. Hang on. Can you say that again, Anne? I couldn't hear you.
I said my 3-year-old who you've seen come and go.
Hi.
He pointed to the screen and said, "See friends."
Yes.
See friends.
Exactly.
Yeah. My kids are tired of seeing my face, for sure.
All right.
All right. See you guys later. Thank you so much for coming. It's awesome. It's fun to see everyone.
Mommy.
All right.